The camera opens on a sleek, marble-floored luxury car showroom filled with gleaming vehicles. Under bright, polished lights, a shiny black Rolls-Royce Phantom dominates the center, surrounded by sales staff in crisp suits who look increasingly nervous. The CEO, a middle-aged man with sharp features and an expensive watch, is red-faced with anger. He slams the hood shut and shouts at the head mechanic, demanding answers. The mechanic stammers, explaining they can't figure out why the car won't start cleanly, despite multiple diagnostics. Other staff murmur, trying not to make eye contact, glancing uneasily at the clock as an important investor event looms. The CEO paces in fury, barking orders to hurry up and fix it before the VIP guests arrive. The tension is suffocating. A hush falls as he curses and points at the service team, threatening to fire them if the car isn't perfect in the next 10 minutes. Nearby customers eye the scene with surprise, whispering behind their hands about the drama. Meanwhile, in the background, a girl in her early 20s mops the floor. Her clothes are faded and patched and her hair is tied back messily. She pauses, leaning on the mop handle as she watches intently, eyes narrowing on the Rolls-Royce's front grille. The camera focuses on her expression, quiet but assessing. As if she's diagnosing the problem herself from a distance, she glances at the engine bay left open in frustration. Noticing details the professionals missed, she shifts uncomfortably, glancing at the angry CEO, then at the silent staff who are too intimidated to speak. She bites her lip, takes a breath, and grips the mop tighter. Around her, no one pays her any mind. She's practically invisible. The manager walks past her without looking, muttering about incompetent mechanics. The CEO's voice booms again, echoing in the cavernous space, telling everyone they're a disgrace to his brand. The girl's knuckles whiten on the mop. She glances at the reflection of herself in the shiny showroom floor a poor cleaner in a palace of wealth and looks back at the malfunctioning luxury car, determination hardening in her eyes. The camera lingers on her face as she makes a decision. She breathes in slowly, then starts to move forward, ready to do the unthinkable. Speak up in the lion's den. The staff turn as they see her approaching the CEO, their faces a mixture of confusion and horror at the idea that the cleaning girl might dare interrupt this furious, powerful man. The room seems to pause as the girl steps forward, mop still in hand. Her shoes squeak slightly on the polished floor, drawing the CEO's attention. He turns sharply, eyes narrowing at her. The staff look at one another, stunned that she would even approach. She swallows hard, voice steady but quiet. Sir, I think I know what the problem is. A moment of stunned silence, then laughter breaks out not just from the CEO, but from a few salesmen standing nearby. One even snorts, whispering to another, the janitor thinks she's a mechanic now. The CEO shakes his head in disbelief, clearly insulted. You clean floors. What makes you think you can fix a Rolls-Royce? She doesn't flinch. I've worked on cars all my life. I've seen this issue before. Just give me 5 minutes. He scoffs, glancing at the mechanics who've already failed him. Then at the crowd gathering slowly near the glass windows, curious customers and a few journalists beginning to take note. He sighs, running a hand through his hair. Fine, he says bitterly. When you fail, you'll be cleaning parking lots, not showrooms. She nods calmly, hands him the mop and walks toward the car. The staff move aside, unsure what to expect. A hush falls again as she opens the hood and examines the engine. No fear, just quiet confidence. One of the mechanics watches closely, eyebrows raised, as she reaches in and begins adjusting a small component buried deep in the system, one they hadn't even thought to check. She looks up at the CEO. Try it now. He scoffs again, but gestures to his assistant to turn the key. The engine purrs to life, smooth, clean, perfect. Everyone stares, frozen. The CEO's mouth parts slightly in disbelief. The engine hums with a smooth, powerful rhythm. The sound echoes in the showroom like a declaration, silencing every whisper, every breath. The CEO stands motionless, staring at the car in stunned disbelief. His assistant blinks, then revs the engine lightly. It responds like a dream. One of the senior mechanics steps closer, peering under the hood where the girl made her adjustment. He frowns, then slowly nods to himself, clearly impressed. The girl steps back, brushing her hands on her faded jeans. Her face is calm, unreadable. For a moment, no one says a word. Then someone claps just once, but it doesn't grow. Most are too shocked to react. The CEO walks slowly toward her, his expression unreadable, shifting from anger to confusion, to something more curious. "What did you do?" he asks, genuinely baffled. She shrugs gently. Loose connection in the secondary fuse box, overlooked during diagnostics. It mimicked a major engine failure, but it wasn't. Her voice is calm, clinical, as if she's explaining to a fellow technician. One of the mechanics nods slowly, his ego bruised but clearly respecting her skill. The CEO looks at her again, this time really seeing her not as a janitor, but as someone who just did what his trained, paid professionals couldn't. "Who taught you that?" he asks. She meets his gaze without hesitation. "My father," she replies. "He ran a garage. I grew up fixing engines." People begin murmuring again, this time in amazement. The CEO crosses his arms, still trying to process what just happened. Everything about her, the confidence, the precision didn't match her job title. And for the first time, he begins to wonder, who exactly is this girl? The CEO's eyes narrow, studying her as if seeing her for the first time. The staff shift uneasily, sensing the change in the air. He takes a step closer, lowering his voice but making sure everyone hears. "Your father ran a garage. That doesn't explain why you're mopping floors in my showroom." She holds his gaze evenly. "It's not your showroom," she says quietly but firmly. A ripple runs through the staff's surprised confusion. The CEO laughs, though there's no humor in it. "Excuse me." She reaches into her back pocket and pulls out a folded document, pulled, creased, but unmistakably official. She opens it carefully, showing the dealership's logo at the top. The camera zooms in. A deed, signed years ago. Her name is there. She points to it with a steady finger. "This dealership was my father's. He built it from the ground up. When he died, it passed to me. I let you manage it while I was away." Murmurs spread quickly among the staff. The mechanics lean in to see. The salespeople exchange shocked glances. The CEO's smirk fades, confusion twisting into dread. He grabs the paper, scanning it rapidly. His mouth opens, then closes, lost for words. She doesn't move, watching him with calm authority. "I wanted to see how you ran things when you thought no one was watching," she says evenly. "I wanted to see how you treated your staff, how you treated people you thought were beneath you." The silence is deafening. The CEO looks around, realizing everyone is staring at him now, not with fear, but with new understanding. The power dynamic has shifted completely. She straightens her shoulders, eyes cool and clear, waiting for him to respond. The silence stretches out, heavy as stone. The CEO stands frozen, the deed trembling slightly in his grip. Around them, the staff watch with wide, uncertain eyes. Even the customers near the glass walls have gone quiet. Sensing that something monumental is happening, slowly, his shoulders slump. The arrogance drains from his face, replaced by a pale, stunned realization. His mouth opens as if to argue, but no words come. Finally, he lowers his head. I didn't know," he manages, voice hoarse. She doesn't look away. "That's the point," she says quietly, but with an edge of steel. "You didn't care to know. You didn't ask. You treated me like garbage because you thought I was nothing, because you thought this place was yours." The CEO sinks to one knee. Not performative, just broken. "Please." "I'm sorry," he says, his voice cracks. "I didn't mean to disrespect you, or your father's legacy." His fingers tighten around the deed like it's a lifeline. She takes the paper back, folding it carefully and slipping it into her pocket. Her gaze sweeps across the staff. Some are looking at her with new respect, others with shame, remembering how they laughed or stayed silent. She breathes in slowly. "Things will change here," she says firmly. "No more fear, no more cruelty. To people who work hard. If you want to stay and be part of this company, you'll treat everyone with respect, no matter what they wear or what job they do." The staff exchange glances. Heads begin to nod. Even the mechanics who failed before look relieved, grateful for another chance under new leadership. The CEO wipes his face, still kneeling. "Please, will you let me stay?" he asks in a small voice. She studies him for a moment. Then she sighs. "Get up," she says. He does, awkwardly. Eyes shining with tears he tries to hide. She meets his gaze. "You know this business. I'll need someone who does?" But you'll do it my way now, or you'll leave. Asterisk, he nods shakily. Yes, of course. Asterisk, she turns to the Rolls-Royce, still idling perfectly. She reaches for the door handle, hesitating just a moment to glance back at the staff. I have places to be, she says with the barest hint of a smile. And this car is mine. Asterisk, she slips behind the wheel. The door shuts with a soft, authoritative click. The engine growls as she drives slowly out of the showroom, the crowd partying to watch her go.